Buffalo chicken is one of the easiest meal preps. It's fast, spicy, and easy. If you're looking to bulk or you just need a quick and easy lunch, I couldn't recommend this recipe enough. Now, let's get this party started. First, we'll prep the rice because that takes the longest to cook. Then we'll marinate the chicken. Grab 5 cups of uncooked rice. We're aiming to make 10 cups of cooked rice, and rice typically doubles to triples in volume when cooked. Always rinse your rice to wash off any excess starch or dust. And use clean water too. No gamer girl bath water, and no Fiji water. That's just expensive toilet water. Next, add however much water your rice package says. For me, that's about a 1 to 1.5 rice to water ratio. Let's make the seasoning mix for our marinade. Grab a coffee cup and about 4 tablespoons of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of cayenne, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons thyme, 2 teaspoons of basil, and lastly, 2 teaspoons of oregano. Mix well to combined. Do you guys prefer breast or thighs of the chicken? No, wait. That came out wrong. Just grab 4 pounds of thighs, open them up, and cut any piece of fat or tendon that might be holding the 2 sides together. Then realize the cute little blue bowl is too small, so you have to grab the giant mental ones. Sorry, guys, but size does matter, and bigger bowls are better for marinating. They also look nicer, too. I guess some chicks like smaller ones. Come on, get the f*** out. Woo, got it. Okay, now add enough olive oil to make Gordon Ramsay proud. Freshly cracked pepper and salt, then add your seasoning mix. And I didn't show it here, but add a 1/4 cup of Frank's red hot sauce, then mix. The chicken should turn a new shade of crimson. If you season food and it doesn't change color, you aren't putting enough seasonings. Let this sit for about 15 to 30 minutes. Or if you're like me, do it the night before and let it marinate all night in the fridge. If it looks dry, try adding a touch more oil, but be careful. Too much oil and the US might try to invade. While that's marinating, let's prep our vegetables. Oh, shit! I did it. I survived the attack. My house is a wasteland now, but I still managed to find some non-mutant vegetables. We'll be using 1 onion, half a head of cabbage, and 1 bell pepper with 3 cloves of garlic. These vegetables look pretty good. Except for the onion, but I bet it has a nice personality. Now let's dice the onion. Remember the 3-finger rule, middle in front, and use your knuckles as the guide. Grab our bell pepper and cut its head off, then shave the flesh around the placenta. That sounds weird without proper context, but anyways, cut your bell pepper parts into 1/4 inch finger-sized strips. Unless you have sausage fingers, then cut them in half lengthwise. Gather all of your pieces and finely dice them. Try to do it all in one go if you're a pro. And remember, when cutting vegetables, always have at least 2 bowls. 1 for waste and 1 for the diced vegetable. Time to put the cabbage through the shredder. Cut it in half, then cut the root off. Make 1/4 inch lengthwise cuts, then turn it over and dice it. Grab a 3rd bowl for the cabbage and a small bowl for the garlic. Remember when I said we'll need 3 cloves of garlic? Well, I lied. I'm actually using 4 cloves of garlic. I just said 3 because I'm a compulsive liar. And since we're being honest with each other, I have something else to tell you. Remember when I showed my room exploding? Yeah, that didn't really happen. My room is fine. That was just some fancy editing. Now that all the bats are out of the cave, let's dice our garlic. Before we saute our vegetables, let's get the chicken situated. Preheat an oven to 450 degrees. Add your thighs to a roasting tray and roast for about 18 to 20 minutes, or until your chicken reaches a temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The residual heat will raise the chicken's temperature to 165 after it rests for 10 to 15 minutes. While that cooks, preheat a pan on medium-high heat and add some olive oil, then add your onion and bell pepper and get startled by the sizzling noise even though I knew it was going to happen. Do you guys ever jump because of that? No? Just me, I guess. Add your cabbage and give it some S&P to taste. Saute your vegetables for around 5 to 7 minutes. Then add your garlic and cook for an additional minute or two or whenever the garlic is fragrant. After, put your vegetables in the clean, big metal bowl. It's time for my favorite part. Let's put the buffalo in buffalo chicken. No, not that kind of buffalo. She is pretty, though. First, add a heart attack worth of butter, so about 1 stick. If you think that's a lot, the original recipe called for around 3 times that. Subsequently, add 2½ cups of Frank's Red Hot sauce, 2 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, and lastly, 1 tablespoon of cayenne. Mix well to make sure there are no lumps and gentle simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. Some people also like to add another kind of hot sauce to make it spicier. I recommend Blair's After Death sauce. It's spicy but not too overpowering. Before adding your sauce to the chicken, taste it and adjust any seasonings you think it needs. When your chicken is done, it should look something like this. Your chicken will be even better if you cook it on a flat top or on a charcoal barbecue. Either way, the next stage of this epic meal prep is to cut the chicken into bite-sized chunks and to add them to our bowl. I cut them the same way I diced the bell pepper. Cut them into strips, then chop the strips into cubes. Once you're done, add 10 cups of cooked rice to the bowl. We're aiming for 1 cup of rice per meal for 10 meals and around 125 grams of thighs per meal. If you're a hard gainer, try adding a couple more cups of rice. All right. Add our vegetables and then drown the whole thing in our super secret sauce. You can add the sauce in batches, but I like keeping it saucy, so I toss it all in. Stir really well and make sure you get all the bits at the bottom of the bowl. Once combined, add to your meal prep containers. Use a measuring cup to dish out your buffalo chicken. Try to get an even amount in each container. Each meal could contain approximately 125 to 150 grams of chicken, which gives 30 to 36 grams of protein and 3.5 grams of fat at 265 calories. 1 cup of rice is about 4.3 grams of protein and 45 grams of carbs at 206 calories. I'm not counting the calories from the marinade because it's impossible to know how much oil is still on the chicken versus at the bottom of the cooking tray, and naturally some fat from the thighs renders out, so I think they counterbalance each other. But I do like to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil when I heat this up, and I also add a guacamole pack to each meal for a total of an extra 220 calories. The total macros for each meal, not including the extra oil and guacamole, are 40 grams of protein, 45 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fat, and 471 calories. If you include the tablespoon of olive oil and 1 guacamole pack, it jumps to 680 calories. Some people like to add cheddar cheese to their buffalo chicken, but I personally haven't done this, but it does sound like it would taste good. For more protein and extra calories, you can add in a couple of scrambled eggs. 1 egg has 70 calories and 6 grams of protein. You can also swap out the vegetables for anything you like. If you're on a budget, use frozen stir-fry packets or steam some frozen broccoli. The traditional trio is zucchini, mushrooms, and onions. This is my second favorite meal prep. What are your guys' favorite meals preps? Do you value taste or simplicity when you meal prep? Thanks for watching. Hope this helped.